Hey, my soccer following friends. It is about 10 minutes to kick off on um I'm on the wrong page. On this final day of the group stages for groups E and F. There's only one more day of group stages after today. And then there's no more four matches a days anymore, which is perfect timing because Vlogmas is starting, and so life is about to get pretty crazy. I mean, today is going to be super crazy because I've got 5 matches to watch, a lot of videos to edit and upload, and Vlogmas to do. And I am going to be keeping soccer and Vlogmas separate, although I might show you guys little snippets of the crafts. But I don't want to bog down people who have no interest in soccer at all on the vlog. So today's first set of matches, Croatia versus Belgium and Canada versus Morocco. I will be watching the Croatia versus Belgium one live. I'm hopeful for Croatia. Right now they're at the top of the group and they have 4 points along with Morocco. Belgium has not been playing particularly well, so I'm hopeful. In the other match, I'm hoping for a Canada win over Morocco, but Morocco has been playing really well, so we will see what happens. Normally, for the past couple of days, in between the first set of matches and the second set of matches, I go back and watch that other match. Today, however, I'm going to go back and watch the final match from the day I missed everything so that I can get that one edited and uploaded. And then after that, I can start to get the other ones uploaded. I have the next day's already edited, so it's just waiting on this last match to watch to be able to be uploaded. Anyways, so during this match, I will be working on some of my Advent projects. First up will be the Tiny Christmas one, cross stitch one, and I don't think that will take any time at all to do. And then I will work on the socks. So that's my craft plans. And I'm now going to flip over to the match before it starts. I'm really super excited, and yeah, I'm fingers crossed for Croatia. So I will catch up with you guys in a couple of hours when I let you know what happened in the match. Bye. Okay, so I'm running a bit behind, but honestly, there's not much to report from the Croatia versus Belgium match. At 14 minutes, a penalty was awarded to Croatia, and then it was canceled by the VAR, and it took them 3 minutes to make that decision, which is just honestly ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I think it was determined that a player was offsides or something stupid. Anyways, for much of the game, Belgium never played like they realized that if they didn't win, they were going to be eliminated. They were just kind of like, do. Anyway, so then they brought on this player who got injured, Romelu Lukaku. He got injured shortly before the tournament and wasn't really match fit for like being able to play a full day. And so he came on the second half, and there was at least 3 goals where it was like, how did it not find the back of the net? And it was pretty clear that it was just a day when it was not going to happen. It wasn't going to happen for Belgium. Anyways, so I didn't watch the next match yet. I do know the outcome, but I got down on the ground to play with the dogs, and I started to smell like, you know, poop. And I was trying to figure out if they had gone in a super sneaky place and I just couldn't figure it out. And then poor Georgie boy had a massive clump that was in his, he's got like a sore, I don't know. So I spent about an hour cleaning him up, giving him a bath. I put hydrogen peroxide on his owie, but I'm a little bit worried about him. And let me see if I can direct this. Yeah, he's over there huddled in that blanket, looking the most pathetic and forlorn that he possibly could. I gave him some chicken. I'm trying to figure out what words I can use that won't trigger the rest of them to come begging. And he ate it. Yeah, he ate it. But then he's just been huddled first in a towel, and then I cuddled him for like a good 15-20 minutes, and now he's over there. So I didn't manage to get done any of the things. Like, I didn't watch another match like I thought I would. And just is what it is. Anyways, so I am wearing the jersey again. I am wearing my flannel shirt under because it is a cold, rainy day here, which is like the first rainy day in a long time. It's like Vlogmas was welcoming me. I love rain. My husband hates it, but I love it. And so it's quite nice. I didn't do any of the craft stuff in the last match because I remembered that I had wanted to make some Christmas floss tags and then try to put them on my Christmas projects. So this mystery cross stitch had 6 different colors, so I picked 6 different papers and then I cut out the whole papers. And I keep them in this little box. Hang on, let me go get it and show you, and I'm gonna cut this part out. Okay, so I have 2 little storage boxes. This one, I put floss tags for non-Christmas related ones. And this red one, I've had empty for quite some time, but it was always my plan to put Christmas ones in there because I have quite a few Christmas whips. And so I picked the 6 different colors. These ones are a lot thinner than the other ones, so it wasn't as thick cardstock. So I'm going to have to be a bit more gentle because I don't back it. That's a lot of extra work. So I chose 6 patterns, and I think I got about 15 out of each one. So now I have a decent amount. I mean, the container's not filled up. So another day I might punch some more. But I'm hoping that with each of the whip wrangle whips that I can then put a length onto the floss cards. I got a pack of 100 of these off of Amazon, so I'm trying to be a little bit more organized like that, so that I can pull out a project and just be able to work on it. I do like working from a master set, and I don't want to buy full skeins of every project, but being able to pull a length from each one and have it there is nice. So my plan for this match, which begins in like 3 minutes, I think. Fingers crossed for Germany. Let's all just take a moment and send good thoughts the German way. Come on, boys, win this game. Okay. And Spain. I need Spain to win too. I never thought I would say that. I know. Spain, come on. You guys can do it. But my plan is to do first the cross stitch and then the socks, but we know how anxious I get during the German game, so we'll see what gets done. I still have a lot more matches to watch today. And then I think when that game wraps up, I'll know the score from the other ones because the commentators keep telling it. So I'll go back and watch the one from a couple days ago that I missed, and then I will edit that video so that I can start uploading videos today to clear out the backlog. So that is my plan, and then to just keep working on cross stitch and knitting stuff. I think my husband's going into the office, so yeah, that's about it. Okay, gonna turn on the match nail. 4 minutes actually is what it says, 4 minutes. So yeah, phone call's coming, so gotta go. Okay, well, it has been a couple of hours since the game ended, and I am finally coming with the recap. Man, well, Germany are out of the World Cup. They won their game, but Spain lost theirs, which means that Spain has been moved into the enemy category. That is so much an enemy that I will root against my own good wishes to root against them. So, which, yeah, my sister is like, Japan should be your enemy, not Spain. But no, Spain is the enemy. And here's why. Although I cannot confirm this, and I don't have this from any sources except for my own head, which means, you know, I could be delusional. I believe that Spain knew that, well, basically that they were through, that they didn't have to do much of anything. And because, oh, I didn't finish updating my stupid spreadsheet. That because Morocco went out at the top of their group, that if they were runners up in this group, that they would be playing Morocco instead of Costa Rica. No, not Costa Rica, Croatia. So if you finished in second place in our group, you play Morocco. If you finished in first place, you had to play against Croatia. Which case, I believe that Spain would have preferred to play Morocco because in theory, they are the easier opponent. Yes, they did top their group, but let's be honest, Croatia is probably the more difficult, like, it just is what it is. Okay, they were like runners up of the last World Cup or last Euros or something like that. I mean, they are a good team. So it's my belief that they didn't mind, because they had such a high goal differential that there was basically no way Germany could really overcome it, that they didn't mind losing the match by a small margin in order to get second place. So Spain is irretrievably forever in my enemy list. Just the national team. Again, I don't take my grudges against the people of the nation, just the national teams. And yeah, I'm really upset. So Germany won the game 4-2. Doesn't matter. They had, and here is where I'm angry at Germany now, okay? Because my anger is not reserved just towards Spain. And I'm not going to say that Germany has no blame. I mean, Germany has plenty of blame in the fact that we're out of the World Cup now. For instance, the number of chances that they had on goal, not just against Japan, but also against Costa Rica in this match. I mean, shot after shot after shot, and just they could not finish. They could not get that ball in the back of the net. They hit the goalpost so many times, at least three that I remember. They hit the goalpost instead of getting just a little bit over. There was so many instances where they just, I don't know how they did not score in those chances. It's just, sorry, I'm passionate. Germany in the soccer, German soccer is my weakness, where I get way overly emotional, and it's why I had to take a break from watching soccer, because I let it affect myself way too much. I would enter real spells of depression, and I'm not in a spell of depression, so you guys don't need to worry. Because I've watched so many of matches in this World Cup, I have other countries that I will now be rooting for the rest of the World Cup. So we're all good there. Don't need to worry. My anger is mainly directed towards Spain, who will forever be an enemy, and Germany for wasting their own chances. Like, they have no one to blame but themselves. They should have scored. They should have won that first match. But no, they didn't. And now we're out of the World Cup for the second World Cup in a row in the group stages, and that is humiliating. Not as bad as Italy not qualifying multiple times, but you know, that's a whole other thing. So okay, let's go over the match. And also I have some other things to say about this match. First of all, the VAR kills me. It completely kills me because I know that they're trying to make things more fair, but it's not consistent enough. Like, how come you can use the VAR to rule something offsides, but you can't use it in other situations? It should either be it gets used for everything or it gets used for nothing. And the reason why I bring this up is because there was one point when the ball went fully out of play. This is on Costa Rica's end. It bounced onto the body of their goalkeeper and bounced back into the field, but the ball was all the way out. It was clearly all the way out, and the video replay showed that it was clearly, like, not even by a small margin, it was clearly all the way out. But VAR can't correct that call, so instead the play just gets to happen from, instead of it being a corner kick for Germany, the goalkeeper gets to set in motion a play, and they were actually attacking at that point and had momentum, Costa Rica. So I just hate the inconsistency. In my opinion, it's inconsistent. You either have to use it for everything or nothing, and I don't like that it's being used for how much it is. It's completely ridiculous. I miss the free flow of the soccer games that we used to have. So at one point, I don't remember if it was in today's game or a game yesterday, but Landon Donovan even made a comment about the VAR. So, okay. Starting with this game. 9 minutes into it, Serge Gnabry for Germany scored, and making it 0-1. They knew they needed to score a lot, and I'm talking about, like, a lot. Germany won 4-2, but it was not enough. They needed, like, a complete shellacking. The player hardly celebrated at all. He picked the ball up and ran back so that the play could continue because he knew that Germany needed to score a lot. There wasn't time for celebration. You could celebrate once you're through. You had to do the work going into it. And Germany were so dominant during that time period. 17, here's where I'm talking about. 17 minutes into play, the ball went all the way out of play. It's ridiculous. On a side note, Manuel Neuer, the German goalkeeper, just made the record for the most World Cup appearances for any goalkeeper. So that was good for him. He didn't have a great game, so I'm not feeling extremely charitable towards him today. He had a great game in the second game, but today not so much. 58 minutes in, Tejeda scored his first international goal for Costa Rica, and he tied the game up. So it went into the halftime 1-up for Germany. Germany clearly dominant, and Costa Rica just had parked the bus, is what it's called. And that's when you basically have everyone defending, and they're just trying to go. Anyways, 69 minutes in, Vargas scored for sorry, my husband was sending text messages, so I was reading it like that. Vargas scored for Costa Rica, making it a 2-1 win for Costa Rica. And at that point, this is how crazy this game is. At that point, for a couple of minutes, it would have gone through with Japan and Costa Rica being the countries that got through, and Germany and Spain being eliminated. It only lasted for a couple minutes, but that's how insane this group is. In the so that was in the 69th minute. 3 minutes later, Kai Havertz, something like that, scored for Germany, making it 2-2. He also didn't celebrate. Like, I was worried he was going to get a yellow card because he got into a fight with a Costa Rican player because he was trying to take the ball to take it back to the center so that the game could be restarted. Like, the players knew they needed to score a lot. So that makes it 2-2. In the 84th minute, Havertz again scored for Germany, making it 2-3 in favor of Germany. And in the 19... Oh, this was a weird one. So in the 88th minute or something like that, Germany scored a goal, but then it was called offsides. And apparently there was some difficulty in the technology with the referee that she wasn't getting, like she wasn't hearing the feedback from the other referees, because 2 minutes later, the goal was given to this player, because I don't know if it was at this point my husband was in the room talking to me and telling me I was being too crazy, and he was really frustrating me. And so I was missing part of what was happening on the TV. But for one thing, I think he was kind of like shoved offsides by the Costa Rican player or something like that. I don't know. I'm not entirely positive about what happened, but 2 minutes later, the goal was given back to Germany, and the referee had a change of like headphones and microphones and everything like that. The other thing that I find kind of annoying, and I know that I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but I just don't really like all of the PC nonsense that needs to happen. Like, they were making a big deal. This is the first World Cup match ever refereed by an all-female referee squad. Why does that need to be a thing? Like, why can't we just do the best people refereeing and it doesn't matter? Like, why do we have to be like, oh, it's an all-girl squad? You know, that's annoying. Again, this is probably just me, but it's annoying. So, yeah. The referee had several calls that I didn't agree with. She seemed more lenient towards the Costa Rican side than the German side, in my opinion. Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think she did a great job, but I'm biased, so I recognize my own bias, and who knows. So, yeah, that was the Germany won 4-2, but it was not good enough. Which, again, sorry, this is going to be a long video because I'm like 13 minutes into this rant. This brings me back to what I was talking about a couple of days ago, where there was a point when the German national players played in Germany predominantly, that Bayern Munich and Dortmund had the majority of the national players, and they were competitive against each other, but they were also used to each other's playing style. And somehow Bayern Munich needs to be convinced to go back to doing that, because not having that, I believe, is really making the national team suffer. I also found Bayern Munich to be a lot more entertaining back then too. So it's just, yeah, it's frustrating. Because like in 2014, we won the World Cup and it was awesome. And since then, it's been kind of downhill. Like, not advancing from the group stages twice in a row, it's unacceptable. And I believe that we're hosting the Euros. We, as if I'm actually German. But I think we're hosting the Euros in 2024, which is in 2 years. And are we going to be humiliated again and have a group stage exit? I mean, on home soil, that's bad. And then the other thing is that I know I said in the first match that subbing Thomas Muller is a bad idea. You never sub him, blah, 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 blah. I will say I was probably wrong about that, and that we held on too long sentimentally to him. There was a time when he was the golden boy. He was literally the golden boot winner, best young player, scored 5+ goals in like 2 World Cups and stuff like that. He didn't score at all this World Cup, and he started each of the matches. And I think that Germany needed more of a direct striker position, because there was a lot of balls fed into the box, and there was no one to get their head onto the end of it or their foot onto the end of it and to just put it in the back of the net. We used to have that with Miroslav Klose, whose jersey I support. And we don't have that now. We need to search the land and find a striker, because until we find someone who can score, it is what it is. I mean, it sucks. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. Germany let it go. I mean, the dream dwindled when we couldn't win against Japan. And yeah, Japan topped the group, so major kudos to them. But Germany had so many opportunities. And if you don't score, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the most shots on goal. If you can't put it back to the back of the net, doesn't matter. And Germany couldn't do that. They had every opportunity. They have no one to blame but themselves and the Spanish jerks, who are forever going to blame. Just because I hate them. Oh my gosh. My husband is sending so many text messages. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so after that, we had a personal crisis in which my husband has two rental properties, actually, and we were gonna he needed to make the water bill payment on that property, and this tenant has several months of water bills that are like $400-500, and we're gonna have this kind of investigated or whatever, to make sure that the water company is working properly. But also because these are like wintertime bills where she says her sprinkler's off. And okay, this is a single tenant, just one person. And her house is half the size of ours. And yet her water bill is double ours. She doesn't have a swimming pool, so she doesn't have a hot tub. So there's none of those usage. And these $500 bills are in winter. It just doesn't make sense at all. But anyway, so we were on the phone with the water company for like an hour more, like an hour and a half or something, trying to deal with this. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, my husband's going to look into getting the contract changed at the next time, so she needs to be responsible for her own water bills, because, I mean, that's just, her water bill is double what ours is. That's just crazy when there's one of her and her house is half the size. It's just crazy. There's no reason for that. So yeah, spent a lot of time dealing with that. And, yeah, now I have 3 soccer matches to still watch. I was going to do all of today's first and then go back, but no, I think I'm just going to go back to the other match and, force myself to watch the Spain match later tonight. So I don't know if I mentioned that left this group standing with Japan at top with 6 points. Spain and Germany both had 4 points, but Spain had a +6 goal differential and Germany only had a +1. So that's why Spain went through. And then Costa Rica had 3 points. So that's how that group ended. And then in the next stage, it'll be Japan versus Costa Rica and Morocco versus Spain. The final 2 knockout stage matchups will be determined tomorrow with tomorrow's matches. So I'll still continue to watch the World Cup because I'm still cheering on the USA.
I'd love Australia to somehow knock out Argentina. Don't see it happening, but I'd love to see it. I'm still going for Poland and Senegal. They're against England, but I'd love for Senegal to get the upset there. I'm still cheering on Croatia. And then I will root for Morocco to utterly destroy and humiliate Spain in whatever possible way that they can. I would just love to see Spain's destruction. In terms of positives, like, here's the thing about the World Cup. At the end of the Spain versus Japan match, the TV switched over to that. And they focused on this fan of Japan who was just sobbing, like sobbing in the stands. And I was sobbing for joy. And he was so proud of his country. He kept like touching the flag on his side, like, I'm proud to be Japanese. I'm proud of my team. No one thought, like, I had Japan at the bottom of the group, honestly. No one thought that they were going to get through. And they did. And that's something to be proud of. I see people crying in all of these matches. And whether you're crying because you're losing or you're crying because you're winning, you are proud of your country. And I love that. I love that about the World Cup, which is why I watch, even when Germany breaks my heart over and over again, or America doesn't qualify. I mean, South Africa never qualifies, so never got South Africa to root for, but that's just the thing about World Cup, and that's why I watch it, and that's why I do these videos for it and everything, because it's just such a moment of pride and joy, and I really, really love that about the World Cup. So, yeah, I'll keep watching, keep doing these videos. Sorry. Oh, the other thing is that, okay, I got no crafting done, by the way. I couldn't craft during that match. I was literally shouting at the TV, which is probably why my husband came in to say I was being too wild. But I got a call from the school district, and because I was born in South Africa and I lived a significant part of my life in West Africa, I have to get a TB test. And so she said, my background check came out fine, everything, the paperwork's all processed and ready to go, but because of that, I have to get the TB shot or test or whatever. And then so you get it done, and then 3 days later you go back and they look at the results or whatever. And then I need to send that result to the school district, and then they want me to start like the next day. So they're ready for me to start, basically. So I'm anticipating starting working sometime next week, which is just wild, honestly. So crazy. I haven't worked in like 2.5 years, and it all just happened so fast. I'm excited, of course. I wish it was starting after the World Cup, but you know what? Tomorrow's the last day of 4 matches in one day, and then we go down to like, I think 2. Yeah, just 2, which is a lot more manageable, and it means I get to do a lot more other things outside of the World Cup. So pretty excited about that. I've done no Advent stuff, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping for like a really productive first day. But so yeah, I'm going to watch that one match and then start getting that edited before I go back and watch today's last 2 matches, because I just need to start getting those videos up. So I'm hoping to be all the way caught up by the end of today with all of the matches, but we will see. So yeah, that's all. I will be back later with summaries of the other 2 matches from today. Hopefully not too forever long, because the longer I ramble, the longer it takes to edit. Okay. And anyways, I did go over all of the people who scored, right? I believe so. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. It's been a few hours since the Canada versus Morocco match
finished. Well, the one that I watched, it actually finished like days and days ago. But this was a crazy match. Morocco was like running away with it in the first half. In the second half, Canada just could not make it happen. But this is another game where the scoreline doesn't necessarily reflect what the game was like. So less than 5 minutes in, honestly, less than 4 minutes in, it was like at the 3:30 mark, Ziyech scores for Morocco. The Canadian keeper had come way far out, and then he like passed the ball directly to the Morocco player. It was just crazy. In the 22nd minute, Nassari scored for Morocco, making it 0-2 for Morocco. 40 minutes in, Canada scored they got on the scoreboard, but it was an own goal. So the Morocco goalkeeper technically scored it. And that was the very first own goal in this tournament so far. In the 47th minute, a goal was ruled offsides for Morocco. And that's all the real notes that I have for this match. But it was a very entertaining match. And again, the scoreline does not reflect. Canada put in a lot more effort than that shows. What I will say about this match is that Canada has a fairly young squad. No, it's not the second youngest. Anyways, they have a young squad. And these players, they've now had some experience at this top level. And I think that they will continue to grow and develop. And I'm hoping that they will make the World Cup in 4 years. And that we'll get to see what more they have to offer and what more they can do. The commentators mentioned a lack of trust amongst the team itself. Not like things like trusting that the other player will be at the spot they're supposed to be in. And things like that. And that is something that develops with playing together. You build that trust. And so I'm hoping that they will continue to grow and develop as a team, and that in 4 years we'll be able to see. I have one more match to watch. Japan versus Spain. I still need to watch that one. But it is almost midnight, and so I will have to watch it tomorrow. So I am behind schedule, but I'm hoping that tomorrow I will be able to fully catch up. My husband is going to his brother's mechanic shop to work on his car, and usually that gives me quite a bit of the day. So tomorrow I will have how many matches will I have that need to be watched? Possibly 5. But I'm hoping to be able to do it. We'll see. We'll see what manages to happen. But during this match, I worked on Royal Holiday from Mirabilia. I got done 228 stitches. And she looks super creepy now because there's not the blending color in between. It just looks like random blotches of color, but it will come together. I have faith it will come together. This is gonna go away now because I need to frog this section. It was meant to be stitched in Whisper White. I think I've already mentioned this. Instead, I stitched it in Ecru, which the two symbols were nearly identical. So, and the fact that the colors are close enough together that I didn't realize for a while that I was using the wrong color, it's kind of indicative that, I mean, if you're gonna have two similar colors, at least have them be like green and red so that it's pretty obvious when it's the wrong color. Oh well. I will deal with that another time. So, yeah, that's all that I have to update on this soccer vlog. Hopefully, I will be super close to being all the way caught up tomorrow, as being behind is a bit stressful. So, America plays the Netherlands tomorrow. I'm really excited about that, and I'm hopeful for America. So, we will see, but I need to go to sleep because that's an early match. So, I will be back later with the Japan versus Spain game. Bye. Okay, I just finished forcing myself to watch Japan versus Spain. To be honest, I did not dedicate myself fully to the watching. First of all, I decided I would do the dishes while watching it. Then I decided, because I wasn't torturing myself enough, I would also vacuum while watching it. And then that didn't take up the whole match. Then I came upstairs and I decided to shop at the Jingle Ball. And so, yeah, I did a little bit of online cross-stitch shopping, and that got me through the rest of it. So, okay, being fair to Spain, they probably weren't playing to finish second in the group like I said I thought they were. They did seem to have a little bit concern when Japan took over and became 2-1. They didn't seem to want to lose the match, so I will give them that. But they did rest players and stuff like that, so they're not completely off the hook. It's just they're still forever in my enemy list because they couldn't do what they needed to do. Because Germany did what it needed to do, right? Anyways, so in the 11th minute, Morata scored for Spain. He has had 3 goals in 3 matches, which is actually really quite impressive. So good for him. On the 48th minute, Doan scored for Japan, and he scored in the Germany match as well. I believe that he's scored the most goals in the J League. I could be wrong about that because I'm just pulling from my own memories. There was something about him though. In the 50th minute, so less than 3 minutes later, and also keep in mind the 47th minute, that means that's 2 minutes from halftime. So it's they came out and they scored. And less than 3 minutes after that, they scored again. This, in my opinion, was a controversial call. It looks like the ball had gone all the way out of play when the Japanese player kicked it in and then scored the goal. In my opinion, it should not have counted, but it did. And it is a goal that saw Germany out the World Cup, so thanks for that technology. There is an image where it looks like it's fully crossed over, but there are other images where it's not 100% clear because the player's shoe is blocking the view and stuff like that. So because it's not 100% clear, even though it looks pretty clear, they won't overrule it or something stupid. I mean, this technology is so stupid because at 1 minute they're boasting about it there's sensors in the ball and they can tell this and that and blah, 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 blah. So there's sensors in the ball that can tell this and that, but it can't tell if it actually went all the way out. That's so dumb. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Okay. Letting it go. Let it go. So yeah, that's all the notes I wrote because I honestly was only half watching. from my half watching, Japan did do a lot better than I gave them credit for. And they do deserve a lot of credit, which is why they're not on my enemy list, because they did legitimately have a game plan that they did execute to perfection, honestly. They had a plan against Germany and they executed it. They had a plan against Spain, they executed it. They did what they needed to do. Spain is the one who's in my book. They're on my list. Anyways, so yeah, Japan I thought played really well. Did I have other thoughts? Not really. They topped the group. Then it was Spain and Germany are tied for points, so it comes down to goal differential, in which Spain did better because Costa Rica rolled over. Somehow Costa Rica beat this Japan team that's on fire, but perhaps Japan was a little overconfident against Costa Rica and had focused all their preparation on Germany and Spain. I think that that's entirely possible. In which case, Japan did to Costa Rica exactly what both Germany and Spain did to Japan. In my opinion, both Germany and Spain probably thought that Japan was going to be easy-ish to beat. And probably Japan thought that about Costa Rica. And in the end, that affected everyone. Both Germany and Spain lost to Japan. Both of those countries beat Costa Rica, and then Japan lost to Costa Rica. I mean, what a ridiculous group. Anyways, whatever. So that's all I really have to say. I'm gonna get this video edited so I can start getting things uploaded, so I can get this one uploaded. I do actually still have 2 matches to watch from yesterday, so I need to do that, but let's just get this going. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye.